Well, good morning.
Good morning. We're not having technical difficulties. I'm having technical difficulties today.
That
So
was so weird, though, that everything seemed fine on my end, but you couldn't hear me.
I couldn't hear you. Yeah, it's super weird. I'll have to work on that later.
But yet, when we put both on, there was that horrible sound.
Yep, I know. And so it's going to be hard for me to do comments and stuff because I'm going back and forth between my computer and I'm doing this on my phone. But we'll do as best as we can. And when I get too close to the phone, I can't see because I'd have to go like that to see from my bifocals.
Well,
So
I will highlight comments
awesome.
and do the best I can on that side. Yeah, because you can't even see the comment thread.
No.
And all that fun stuff. But
No.
Today was, today is quite interesting because it's like November 9th and your schools are closed because
Correct.
of the tropical storm Hurricane Ada, which
Right.
the last I saw, I thought that thing was like over in like Belize or something. And then I see the news last night and there's like all this loop-de-loo stuff going on Florida. And I'm like, what is going on?
Well, it looks like it's actually going to come up the west side. So that'll be interesting. But I guess they closed the schools because if the winds are too high, the buses and, nobody wants
and when it goes on the west side, you guys get the dirty side.
Right.
So that's when your phone goes off all those alerts every 15 minutes because of tornadoes.
Yes, correct.
So I think, you'd always much rather go on the East Coast, as scary as that may be, because the West Coast is so unpredictable.
Right.
Just because it's the dirty side.
So. Correct.
But I don't miss any of that. So I was looking in my memories, and it's crazy because right now it's gorgeous, like 80 during the day and 50s at night. Perfect, bonfire weather. But this time last year was when we got our first snow, which actually lasted like almost 3 days. The most any snow, we got snow 5 times, but it was also the first time my kids saw snow, like other than New York City. When we went in the one building, you could see flurries way up high, and then they went ice skating. And if you looked really close, you could see flurries.
Right. So wow. It's the weather is just amazing how much it changes. But when I was thinking back when we had that tropical storm Faye, and schools were closed for like 5 days back then because of it. So I get it.
Well, Faye, it flooded everything.
Yeah, I know.
My poor kids, they were small. I just remember taking them for bike rides. And Jessie was so little that she couldn't really pedal because the bike was lower to the ground, and she got off and she freaked out because there's seaweed everywhere. This is so gross. And it's grass. But she must have been off the sidewalk because she couldn't, you didn't know where the sidewalk was. And she was freaking out because there's seaweed on her, feet. Right. We used to always go down to the Keys, and that was always gross. Like, the seaweed, because you never know like what's in that seaweed.
Right. True.
I was like, it's okay, honey, it's grass. You just don't see it. It's not seaweed.
Oh goodness. All right. Well, anyway, since we're so late, let's just jump right in. And today we're talking about, so I have to look back and forth, 5 ways to expand your reach with value. And the number one thing is honestly, like, focus on face-to-face, making contact with people face-to-face, because that's how you build trust. And we're in a situation now where a lot of our face-to-face is like this, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So, but don't be afraid of this. Look at me today. Like, let me just say this. I have a buyer who texted me last night at 7. The pool guy wants to come tomorrow at 9 to do a pool inspection. Otherwise, he's going on vacation. So can we come at 9? And what was I going to say? No, you can't. Sorry, I have this video thing. So I come screeching into the office at 9:27 and then find out my sound isn't working. So is this how I want to be sitting in front of you all today? No. But at the same time, I'm totally out of my comfort zone. I can barely see the screen because I'm so close to the camera. And then if I back up, I'm like, ooh, I don't know that that's a great video of myself. So let me get closer. But try and make it face to face. Also, in addition to the face to face, we talk a lot about doing emails or doing texting or talking on the phone with people. And a lot of us say, oh, text or email because I want a record of it. And I totally get it, because I actually commented on a thread in Lab or Mastermind Agents this morning. And I said, text is good because we have a record of it. But at the same time, people can't hear your voice. They don't know your intention because they may read it differently. They may read it in a different tone than you're actually
But that's
saying.
where video, especially right now, I mean, as horrible as we all hate it, just learn little techniques, maybe up so you don't see like 10 chins. Don't be doing the video like that. But I think the video is great because we are in this kind of virtual space, which I don't know is going away anytime soon. So even if I remember going to a Tom Ferry and like that was one of the things like we had to do was send videos, and you didn't care who you sent it to. Send it to your spouse. So my poor husband, like, I'm trying to work, stop. And I'm like, well, it's just that whole practicing, and you do it enough. And I used to have this big poster, progress, not perfection.
Yeah.
And in a world like today, if you do the video, you still have the record.
Yep.
I always kind of type out kind of like a recap of what my video may be.
Right.
But the video, it allows somebody to get to know, like, and trust you because they see your face.
Yes.
They feel that emotion or that passion or whatever it may be, and it's not like they're reading. And in a space like we have right now in today's world, things can kind of get ugly. So, depending on what mood somebody's in or what they just saw, they're going to interpret that totally differently. So the video, I feel it still gives you that record, but it gets somebody, we can't really get to that belly to belly. And I know technology allows you to do all this stuff,
right.
But that, and it really drives me crazy when I'm coaching with agents and they're always like, oh, I just watched so-and-so and they said to try this and that. And it's like, dude, all you're doing is procrastinating the belly to belly. Like, you're thinking there's like some magic technology that's going to get you all this business without having to get belly to belly. Like, stop it. And I know when I was reading over this, there's so many other things that, that we'll cover today that talks about getting to belly to belly. So it's not all about that technology. There is no magic pill for technology. There's ways to keep you organized and all of that to help work smarter, not harder.
Yep.
But really, I feel the technology is, the objective is to get belly to belly, face to face. And right now, if that means video, send us videos. I have like the fake, a test group or a test page. And that's basically like what we would practice this on. Just get your phone out, text, start, FaceTiming or video chatting with, siblings, your spouse, your BFF, like practice together, have accountability partners. Just start. The more you do it, the more it's not going to be like, oh my God, I have to do this.
Exactly.
Practice will make perfect. So, that's all the technologies, all about getting face to face, belly to belly, having those real estate conversations. And there's no magic pill for technology to get that. That's just not going to happen.
For sure. So especially now when you have buyers that may not be coming to town multiple times where they would have in the past. I have buyers, they came to town, we couldn't find what they wanted. So then they had to rely on me and FaceTime to see if they liked the house. And then they'll be here for the inspection, So get out of your comfort zone. If you can't do real face-to-face for whatever reason, then do face-to-face via video or via FaceTime or whatever you want to use, for sure. The other big one is connecting with your community. And here at Remax Elite, we're big on charity. We're big on giving back. But find whatever your passion is and get involved there. I had an agent recently asked me, how do I get into the luxury market? And I said, find out what charities those people are involved with and join that charity if that charity speaks to you. I mean, there's got to be more than one. So figure out which ones those are, pick the one that speaks to you, and get involved.
I mean, that's going to help you find your tribe.
Yeah.
What are you passionate about yourself? What organizations would you love to help? And I know, we're really big with Children's Miracle Network, but we also help the agents because not everybody's, maybe dogs, it may be the homeless, it may be, there's so many different organizations out there. Find the one that speaks to you and get involved. It's going to help you find those people that are also passionate about that. And I think that just helps you find your tribe.
Yeah.
So, and get belly to belly because of meetings and what can you do? And it's not all about giving money. I mean, I know for me, it was, I have different talents. Like we all have different talents. And if I may not have all the money in the world to give, but I have specialties in what I can do. And that's how I help. So there's so many different ways that you can help organization because we all have our strengths and, donate your time.
Yep. For sure. The other is get engaged professionally. So get engaged. Oh, look, I have a low battery. This should be interesting. Get engaged professionally. Yeah, I know. Within your profession.
How do you have a low battery at 9:30 in the morning?
I didn't charge it last night. I don't know what I was thinking. So
you need to go home and go back to bed on this Monday.
I know, crazy. Anyway, get engaged professionally. If that means go to networking groups with other people within your profession, because those relationships help you when you're in a multiple offer situation. They may, agents who know. I remember back when the market was really good, not the first time, but the last time, there was a brokerage in town that had a lot, they would get a lot of listings. And when I knew it was in a multiple offer situation, I would text that agent and I'd say, this offer's coming from me. I don't play around. I bring solid buyers who I know are pre-qualified. I get the inspection done quickly. I don't play games, and that a lot of times that won me a multiple offer situation. So if you get out there and the other people in your industry, that's
reputation matters. And in a market like we have now, and I mean, this is not anything that we've never, I don't know that we've had inventory as low as now, but
we haven't.
That's the great thing about real estate is it's always evolving. It's always changing. I remember when my grandmother was an agent, I just thought it was the most boringest, thing ever, but it's not. When I actually got my hands in it, I like change, I like growing and real estate.
And here's the thing. If you want to see change, get involved with your local board, get on a committee. People are always, I'm the chairperson of the MLS committee, and people will send me, here's a suggestion for the MLS. And it's like, well, if you want to make a change, either get on the MLS committee, or if there's something really important to you, ask to come to that meeting and present what change you think should happen.
and that's the same as local, like don't complain if you're not going to get involved and try to do something about it.
Right. So also leverage your brand, so Kerry Ramage, and the brand that I choose to work with, Remax Elite. That is huge. That balloon, that red, white, and blue balloon right now, especially in this, that stands out to people. They see that. They see America. They connect with you with that. So use that,
it's two names you can trust. It's utilizing that 800-pound gorilla, especially in your marketing and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Not just your brand on what your specialties are and stuff like that. So it's.
I see your comment, Kelsey. And unfortunately, that was not a SCAR choice. That is a Flex. Flex made that decision. So it's a nationwide decision to get rid of the full search, which is really funny. I've never used the full search ever. So it doesn't matter to me. But unfortunately, that SCAR has nothing to do with making that decision, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Seek out guidance. If you don't have the answers, or if you need help getting there, find another professional. help you, to collaborate with. You know, when I first started in real estate, I was in Connecticut, and I took an office in a room with seasoned agents because I knew that's how I would learn. I was there every day, and these are people who came to the office every day, and I learned from them. And then when I came here, I didn't know what I was ending up with. I kind of took a desk in a room where there was an empty desk, but I ended up in a room with me and John Murphy and Jeannie
The Bat
Hansen.
Cave.
Right, the back, and that was before I arrived. That's because they kept it dark in there. When I came, I'm like, turn on the lights. I can't see anything. So, and then ultimately, Alma Fesh joined us at one point, and then Pam Hudson moved into that office with us, and then Karen Biamonte. And so for a very long time, it was me, John, Jeannie, and Karen. And
I mean, and I think, you know, just like even before COVID, I mean, we always have our agents that are, you know, that do classes for our agents. And we've had agents that come in at 6:30 in the morning to role play together. And I mean, I think, you know, finding an agent that, you know, even in a different market or a different area, I mean,
Yep.
we've teamed up with an office in Boston and we did, you know, matchmaking for accountability purposes.
Yep.
There are so many agents out there. And even if you put feelers out there, like, is, you know, who's in this market, or to have accountability to role play, like who's doing stuff you think is absolutely fantastic. I do that myself, is, you know, what brokerages are killing it. I mean, that's why I love going to all of the events so much, is because, you know, I get to meet other brokers that are just doing so many amazing things. And that's, we collaborate together, and agents can do the same exact thing, is finding that agent that's just doing phenomenal. Like, we're such a huge, amazing family, and we love sharing. I mean, we have all those, we have the tech and tools group, we have the, you know, the creative group. We're all there to help each other. So finding agents to, and it's not like stealing all their content. It's like, oh, I love that. You add your own spin to it, collaborate with them, mastermind with them. I mean, there's so many ways that you can do this. And I mean, that's one thing that's so big about like the Remax family is, I mean, nothing I do is completely my idea. It may be a spin off of, you know, what other brokers have shared with me, or what are they doing? And I love the idea. So let's put our spin on it. And it just helps us all get better as a brokerage, as an agent, as teams.
Yep. Exactly. And when you're making those connections, like recently we were doing a deal here. We had the seller, the buyer. Did we have the seller? Yeah. The buyers were from South Florida. They were using an attorney from South Florida, and the attorney was like doing all sorts of changes and things. And our agent was like, is this normal? I'm like, I don't know, but let me call David Searle. He's in South Florida. He'll answer my question. And he was like, yeah, that's typical for here. He's probably an older attorney. He's kind of doing it the way they did in the olden days. And I told the agent, he's like, okay, we just want to get it closed. We'll just agree, because it's not anything that's to the detriment of the seller. It was just something we had never seen before. And it was great to be able to pick up that phone. Or, I mean, you get calls all the time from agents and other brokerages, even locally, as do I. And, you know, my line always is when they call me and they're like, I have a question for you. My very first line I always say is, call your broker. And then they laugh, and then they ask me the question, and then I answer it. So, you know, but it's like, what? You know, I'm flattered that they're calling me, actually. You know,
well, and that's even like why we started some of these different groups is, you know, not everybody is going to have positions like me that's strictly, you know, and you like to be able to coach. I mean, not every brokerage has that across the board. So I think by helping others, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think better being able to help us. It just makes us better as a whole, is how I feel.
Exactly. And I'm always interested, like when an agent here comes to me and they'll ask me for something, or, you know, oh, I need a buyer's agent for this. And I'll say, call so-and-so. And they're like, oh yeah, we've talked a few times. And I'm like, I love that they make the connections on their own, even though they may not have even ever met them at an office meeting or anything, especially this year when everything's been via video. So maybe they met during a happy hour. Actually, somebody asked me if we would do a virtual happy hour again, just to get together. So when we're done, we'll talk about that. We'll put that on the calendar.
If your phone isn't dead.
Yep. Right. Right. So, and then the next thing is cultivate partner relationships. Cultivate relations with either home builders. Recently I had a buyer. We were wanting to, he was wanting to explore everything. And I texted, a guy I do business with at DR Horton, and I'm like, what do you have available? And this is a funny story. So, they're allowed to sell in all the communities. It didn't used to be that way, but they are now. And so he texted me something that was available in a community that wasn't his. So me and the buyer, all the buyer really wanted at this point, he doesn't want to talk to a salesman. We don't want to know anything. We just want to see if this floor plan and this lot is going to work for the guy. And so it was in mid-construction. So we pull in the neighborhood. We have to drive past the model. We pull in the neighborhood and we pull up to the house, and we're like, let's walk around the back and see. And when we walked around the back, I opened the slider and the slider was open. So we're like, let's go in. So we're in there, and the salesperson for the community comes in the front door, like catches us. And I'm like, we're just checking to see, if this floor plan is right. Well, he was like, oh, well, how do you even know this was here? And then I said, oh, my friend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oops, I think I just got this other builder rep in trouble. And that was not my intention. And I was like, we just want to see if this works. And then the guy started the hard sell on us. Apparently he saw us drive in the community. I don't know if my car maybe screams realtor car. I don't know. And followed us. We got out of the bit anyway, but it was my relationship.
Oh my gosh, that's like going to a car dealership.
Oh my God, it was crazy. My relationship though with the other salesperson, he knew he didn't need to give me the hard sell. He was just giving me, this is what's available. My guy knew exactly what he wanted. Before we engage in a conversation, let us just drive by and look. So do it with builders, do it with,
you could do attorneys. There's so many.
We have an agent.
Build that relationship. If you're working on, divorces, probate. There's so many different specialties. Find that partner.
Yep.
It's like having the more partners. It'll help you in the long run.
And go out of the norm, because the title company or the lender, those guys are working with so much of us. So if you're expecting referrals in return, it's just not likely. They're going to piss somebody off. But still have that relationship, because I know when I pick up the phone to call anybody at Prestige Title, I know they're taking my call immediately. I know that. There's another title company in town that's owned by an attorney. I know when I call him, and it may just be advice, he's going to take my call, because I take his call when he asks me for some advice, but like you say, look outside of the box. Probate attorneys, divorce attorneys. We have an agent here who is working with a probate attorney, and she gets, a decent amount of deals a year. They're tough deals, because probate can be tough when you're talking about 4 and 5 and 6 heirs, but find somebody within the industry, so to speak, in the huge industry and umbrella, to create a partnership with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what is the action plan for this week?
Okay, so we're always talking about this. Always reach out to 10 best clients and thank them for being a part of your journey. And it's funny when I think back to some of the people that I've worked with over the years. I have one who refers me business all the time, and we're closing on a referral that she gave me 2 years ago. I met them at an open house. I then showed them another house. They ended up FISBOing their house, so they didn't even use me for their house, but that's okay. I didn't sell their house, but I found them their new home, and they continued to refer me. They've referred me to people for listings. They've referred me to people for buyers. So reach out to those people and thank them for being a part of your journey and why you are today. And practice random acts of kindness. So
I like that right now.
Yeah. This week, do 3 random acts of kindness and pass it on. Maybe it'll inspire someone else to do something for someone else.
This week is so you go to Starbucks, you go through a drive-through. It's always really cool when you go up to the window and somebody,
somebody paid for the person in front of you paid for you. Yeah.
We used to do that with the tolls a lot, but now it's, the
Now
whole
you just
Suntoss
try.
thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to get off the change and go through your seats when you're in high school again. And then the words of wisdom is, you can't have a positive life with a negative mind. And I just happened to see that, and it kind of resonated with everything going on. I mean, if you don't have control of, focus on what you do have control over, and that's what you're doing.
Yep.
And I'm just trying to stay positive and do my thing. I mean, if I don't have control, I don't have control. Like, there's nothing I can do. I don't need to be pissed off about something I have zero control over.
Right.
What I do have control over are my actions and what I choose to do in this moment. And, that's just waking up. I mean, nothing's going to change. I'm going to wake up. I'm going to do my hustle. I'm just going to do my thing. And that's what I have control over right now. Yeah.
Just I like to say, I keep my blinders on and I put my eye on the prize and I just get to where I need to be. There's another brokerage right now that's doing a lot of recruiting, and they are sending out like photos of their recruited agent, and it'll say, this is Susie Q, and she left, name the brokerage, because she found all these great things at our office. So they're not saying anything bad about the other brokerage, but they're, announcing where they left. And I can't tell you how many texts and emails and phone calls I got from other people. And I have two reactions to it. So a lot of the texts and calls emails were like, oh my God, can you believe they're doing this? This is unethical. And I on the prize. I don't worry that much about what other people are doing. I worry about what we're doing. So I would never name somebody else in an email or a post like that, and I'm not going to get caught up in the negativity about calling this person a jerk because they did.
But I've seen that a lot where I've had to unfollow different companies because of that kind of stuff, and because it's so easy to be consumed with that, and I just find it easier. Unfollow. I don't need that kind of noise and distraction. It's really more of a distraction on what I need to do. So it's easier to kind of unfollow that. Exactly. If it's going to be a distraction to me and what I need to do, I hide it. I just like the blinders. I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
I need to focus on what I have control over, and those are my actions.
Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your, your head down, work hard, do what you need to do. I don't worry about, I really don't. I don't worry about the other people. So-and-so says they're number one, but they're not really number one.
My mom says I'm number one. Everybody's number one.
Everybody can be number one at something, so don't worry about who's saying what they're saying. Figure out how, if that becomes an obstacle, you can overcome it, but don't get caught up in the negativity about talking about that person and why they are or aren't.
Yeah. No, I'm just like to focus on that. So let's see so that was that was it. So your phone actually made it.
It made it
through today. So hopefully the rest of your Monday will be fantastic. I hope you guys are safe and there's no tornadoes or craziness, and enjoy the day off for the kids, because I think, don't they? Maybe that's next week. Oh no, this week.
They have Wednesday off too.
Okay, that's what I was like. Wait, I'm so. Oh my god.
Wednesday is Veterans Day, so remember to thank a veteran. So there, 3 random acts of kindness.
Veterans.
Maybe have it to be about veterans, or call this week 10 people that you've helped that were veterans and thank them for being a part of your journey.
There you go. That should be an easy 10 and a great way, and for sure thanking our veterans and just, my goodness, bless America right now. Pray for a quick healing of the country and all that fun stuff. Keep those blinders on. Focus on the prize. Focus on positivity and what you can actually control, and that is your actions and how you react to different things. And that's it. So wake up, kick ass, repeat, and pray that Kerry can charge her phone and have a better day.
I get my volume work today.
And we'll see you guys next week.